Greetings and welcome, guys, gals, and non-binary past episode 394 of the Words About Games podcast, the weekly gaming podcast for words about games. I'm one of your hosts, Amy K. Alexander. I'm joined this week by, from Brooklyn, all the way from Brooklyn, New York City, it's Mr. Daffy Moody.
Is that what it says? Interesting.
Yeah, Brooklyn, NYC.
I had no idea that. Cool. Howdly doodly do, everyone. It's Friday. You know what that means. It's video game day. I hope everyone's had a good week.
Yay!
The delay was so long.
It was tempered for a number of reasons.
It's better than last week. But I mean,
That's true.
you remember last week.
Yeah.
Why am I
Shit, I wasn't dancing or listening to music. Oh, shit. All right, let's start again. Let's redo this.
Well, I've got to introduce Vit, so you just start dancing. And we're also joined by the one and only Mr. Vits Patel.
What good gamers? How's everybody doing? Right here for watchers of today's podcast. We're rocking a badge for International Long COVID Awareness Day, which is March 15th, whenever that happens to be in your part of the world. So that's a little badge right there.
Damn. It's podcast.
And I hope that you all celebrated Pi Day, which would have been the day before, given when this drops.
Pi Day. Don't get me started on Pi Day. Only makes sense if you read the date wrong, like you're American.
Hey, to be fair, we enjoyed some Mr. Kipling today, so and it was exceedingly good.
I didn't know it was Pi Day. I missed Pi Day.
Not that kind of pie. Not the good kind of pie. The number kind of pie. 3.14, etc.
Something.
14162, and that's all I remember. And The Simpsons is responsible for even that much.
To be fair, it'd be interesting to go back and see how much of general education is down to The Simpsons and not just through the educational system itself.
I don't even think pi ever came up in my education. But, my brain is a weird, leaky steel trap. We were talking about Final Fantasy, and there was that safe combo, and it was it's the same combo as in the original game, and I remembered it.
Yes.
I was so I just tried it, click, 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 and I was worked. When I played Resident Evil 3 Remake, and you go to the police station, and you go to the safe, and the safe combination was the same as Resident Evil 2 Remake. And I remember
right,
I just clicked that in place, and I was how the fuck did I remember that?
So the only one of those I have is for Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. So on the Game Boy, I had the DX version, and on that one, there's a particular path you need to go around the Windfish egg at the very end. And I still remember that to that day kind of thing. But they changed it in the remake that came out in 2019, I want to say. And so I was I already know my way. I got there, tried that path. Oh, it didn't work. I was oh no, my world is broken.
Everything is crumbling to dust around me.
This is it, yeah.
Oh, I do have an important update for Moody. It's an important life update. Super, super important. I'm going to the place that might have the Bulbasaur with a hat on tomorrow.
Ooh. For audio listeners, if you look at Moody's feed right now, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 Bulbasaurs in shop, potentially 5.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes,
5,
yes.
Yeah.
Spot on.
Even I was I can't see 5. Wait, is that little
There's
one?
one.
Is there 6?
There's little one there. Oh, this one's Ivysaur.
Yeah, but it's a Bulbasaur.
Bulbasaur.
Don't go there, Ames. Don't go there.
No.
It's a Bulbasaur evolution.
It's Bulbasaur's teenage version.
Yeah.
Ah.
What was the adult version?
It was the one on top of the
Venusaur. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was one on top I couldn't especially identify. What is that?
Where are the rest? Because I know there's more.
Are they getting a new friend then?
The thing is, though, I've got 2 more Bulbasaurs over there.
I know you've got at least one more because I remember it was there when you bought it.
I think I'm getting to.
He was standing in front of the Funko Pop wall. And he went, I don't know. I'm just not really feeling the Funko Pops at the minute, while holding a giant Funko Pop Bulbasaur in his hands at that moment.
Yeah, but I normally go when I get Funko Pops. I go in and I'm coming out with 3 or 4. So when I only come out with one,
I think I only own 3 or 4.
I'm at a grand total of 0, so more power to you. Absolutely. I find the black eyes of the Funko Pops.
Funko Pop.
Yeah, it's the black eyes of each Funko Pop. They just look terrifying to me.
3 Cuphead's I own Cuphead because that was the only Cuphead you could get. Jill Valentine, because before they remade Resident Evil 3, it was impossible to get a Jill Valentine action figure, and she's the best character in Resident Evil. And Triss.
The bar's so low.
I mean, it's
Triss from The Witcher.
Triss from The Witcher.
Nice.
Well, I never read the books. I only played the games. Everyone was like, Team Yennefer. I was like, but Triss. she's been in all 3 games.
Yeah, basically that's you, Amy, in general. Everyone else says this, and you go, but this. No, this. No, but this.
That's not fair or true.
I was gonna say you didn't say it all true there, but it is.
No, it's not. How dare you?
Yeah.
In front of me is the truth
out in front of me.
No, in legitimately directly in front of me is a Jodie Waker doctor. And Sarah Ryder from Mass Effect Andromeda.
Hell yeah!
just as you were saying, you like the things people don't like, and I was like, maybe you're right.
There is some evidence to support this theory.
There is some evidence to support that theory directly in front of my face.
No, but don't worry, I've got Sarah Ryder as well.
Hell yeah, it's the same one. I lost my base further. So
yeah, I got the one with wearing a helmet as well.
Do you remember when you wore that N7 helmet?
Yeah. Wait, did that fit?
It's right there, back there.
He lasted about 3 minutes, and then he was like, "Oh, go on, breathe."
How did he stay in this all the time? Like, what the fuck?
I'm just looking to see if I've got anything else that's unpopular.
I see Totoro. Everybody loves Totoro.
Everybody loves Totoro.
Yeah, although people should love Cat Bus more. Well, that's all I'm saying.
I don't think there's anything else really. I think Eevee's pretty popular.
Yeah, Eevee's very popular. Yeah.
And Isabelle from Animal Crossing.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Wait, what's behind my head?
No,
that's Among Us. We're fine. My purple Among Us boy.
There we go.
Not with an egg on its head, but a PlayStation beanie. When they unlocked cosmetics in Among Us, I literally, it was always purple jelly bean, egg, doctor's coat.
Nice.
That was me the entire time we played it. I never changed once. And it was very funny. Do you remember when we were playing and Paul was lying about who he saw because he was trying to protect me because I'd killed someone, and he was like, I don't know, I just saw some purple legs, but my character wore pants. So they were brown. But the only person he noticed was dead and couldn't say anything. So when we were in the lobby afterwards, he was like, what color are your legs, Amy? They're brown. And I was like, I know. But I wasn't going to say that. Fun times.
pretty sure you won. So.
Oh, we won, yeah. Big stuff.
Yeah,
I was used to
best
keeping
one
up with Paul.
Yeah, I still say the best one for us was when we I covered for everything. For you did. You slaughtered everyone. And I called them, get rid of the bodies.
Wasn't even on my team.
I didn't see anybody.
Nope.
Yeah, and everything. We just got to the end. They didn't even vote me out. It was funny. I was thinking they could just say it's me.
Yeah,
vote me out, but
I'll be the first one to say this smells like a self-report to me.
No, that's what was happening. Moody would just be like, "Oh, I didn't see anyone. I found the body, didn't see anyone," and I'd be like, "Yeah, Yeah, and I just
I'm
didn't
just
say
as
anything.
shocked as you are.
Oh my god, there's been a murder. That's definitely top 3. For me, I'd say second was when Ryan said, this is when you and Ryan were beefing. And Ryan was like, I'll PayPal the next person that kills Moody 20 quid. And then I was the imposter. And Moody and Ryan ran to the same place. So I ran in right in front of Ryan's face, sliced Moody in half. And like there was this 2-second sort of like me and Ryan just, and then he just reported the body. He was like, Moody's dead and I don't know how.
Moody's dead, not £20 poorer.
Yeah.
And
that was good times.
That was a good
times.
time, yeah. And then number 1 was everybody killed Moody.
Bitch slapping me. Yeah, everyone kills me. Video's still out there, everybody. Go and get it. Go and see it. It's really funny. I would say you've done great. Obviously, deep dives into games, definitely. But I still say that 10-minute video of slaughtering me is probably the funniest thing you've done. It's the best video you've done.
Everybody got in on the action on that one.
Yeah, even me, I won't lie, because I could have took it really badly, and I didn't though.
You could have took it really badly the second week when I just kept killing you over and over again.
I was never getting imposter at all the second week, and I was just like,
you got him.
And then when I got imposter,
you got imposter that one time, and someone locked the door and kept us apart so you couldn't get in.
Yeah. I was so annoyed by this. And then when I got imposter the week after, you'll see the video, you'll see.
The fucking train.
It was good. It was good times.
Good times. Good Among Us was good times.
Yeah, Among Us was good times.
In the olden days when you could get like 10 people to play a game at the same time.
All we need is the plague to come back, and we'll all be inside.
Hey, it never left. Infection rates are
still here.
That's true. It is still here.
All we need to do is bring down capitalism.
Yeah.
And then we'll be able to play Among Us again.
There's many benefits to that.
Yeah. All right. Won't that kill Among Us?
No.
They might just say, well, if you killed us, I'm going to destroy the game.
Among Us isn't capitalism. It's just a game. We've already bought it as well, so it's like...
Yeah.
They might just delete it and just...
Turns all your bad feelings into good feelings.
Well... 50-50.
Are you about to say murder's not a bad feeling?
I mean, look, right. If we bring down capitalism and that somehow brings down Among Us, I also have One Night Where Ultimate Werewolf, which is basically the same game.
There you go.
So we can just play that instead.
That's funny.
And that's physical. That's a physical card game, so you can't delete that unless you set it on fire. But like no one's gonna come in here and set my games on fire. That'd be weird.
That would be weird. Also, let's not tempt fate.
True. We do skirt pretty close to the edge of pissing off a certain class of people on this podcast who might break into my house and set my games on fire. Just because I say they shouldn't have any rights. I'm talking about gamers. Just
100%.
gamers.
Yeah. For those of you following along at home.
For anyone who's like, wait, who shouldn't have rights? Gamers. Gamers shouldn't have rights.
The gamers, apparently, yeah.
We covered this on the podcast a few weeks ago. The only person in the world who is allowed to have rights is Ichiban Kasuga.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true. There's no doubt about that. That's facts. Greatest facts.
I'm willing to extend this to Aerith. Maybe.
Thank you.
We'll open up a discussion.
Yes.
Not a game-related thing, but I want to extend that to a character who I've just watched the TV show of Luce, of the TV show The Owl House. I've just watched it all. It's
nice.
Ooh.
really, really good. Amy,
What's that available on?
Disney Plus.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all of it's done. It's all there and done, dusted, and everything. It's a fabulous little show, especially if you like Dungeons and Dragons type of thing, or fantasy dramas and everything like that. It's really, really good. It's a cartoon, very well done, and yeah, Amy, it's right up your street. Amy, I think you would actually really like it. I literally typed in on Google because I've literally just binge watched all of She-Ra again.
Sure.
Because I was just
Oh,
like,
Princess of Power. Absolutely.
oh, I love that show.
It's got pockets.
I got him into it.
Yes.
It fair play there. And basically, I just typed in Google things like She-Ra, basically, and it came up with a list, and I was like, clicked
Owl
on the Owl
House,
House.
Steven Universe, Adventure Time.
No, I've tried Adventure Time.
I'm just trying to like think of what's on that list.
Mm.
Like,
and I saw it, and I was like, okay, let's type in the trailer. Boom, and I watched it, and I was like, oh, really enjoy it. It's cute, it's adorable. It's got some heavy themes into it for a Disney show, and yeah, it's really, really canny. I had a lot of fun with it.
I like animation, like quote unquote kids animation. I mean, there's a fucking wrestling behind me. That's from Adventure Time.
Apparently like so apparently it was cancelled for its quote unquote more stew to the older audience, nothing like that. Okay. I was saying, really? Yeah. So I've watched the entire show, like I said, and I won't spoil anything like that. But I'm just like, you guys are complaining about this. When I grew up, there was a fucking film called Watership Down where rabbits were Nazis. Like, seriously. Make up your mind, people.
Everyone kind of forgets, like in The Lion King, how all the hyenas were like Gustavo marching on everybody.
I think.
Brother murdered a brother.
But on the flip side of your example there, Fitz, I mean, remember Dumbo?
Oh, yes. The whole Jim Crow thing. Yes, exactly.
Yes. Freaking The Land Before Time. I still cry when the mother dies. It's just depressing.
I think what people forget is Ghostbusters was classed as a movie that was okay for kids.
I know.
Yeah.
And Bill Murray at one point is literally, it's
times.
true, this man has no dick. And that was the shit we watched when we were kids.
And there was a scene where Dan Aykroyd's character dreams that... Yeah, the Dan Aykroyd has a dream scene where a ghost gives him fellatio. So there's that as well.
And we all turned out fine.
Yeah. Exactly. We ain't afraid no ghosts.
We ain't afraid. Well, it's one of my most quoted movies.
Like Dan Aykroyd, it depends on the ghost, I guess.
I still say, still to this day, one of my things I say, like when it's appropriate to say, is it's here, Ray. It's looking at me. And I know for a fact Phil always does the thing where if he does anything where he pulls something out from underneath something, he will always say, and the flowers are still standing.
Shout out to Phil.
Shout out to Phil. Imagine if we got Phil on this podcast, he wouldn't have a fucking clue what was going on.
He wouldn't have a go.
It'd be fun.
Like, let's talk about Sweet Baby Inc. And he'd be like, we're not talking about babies? I thought this was a games podcast.
So see you on the other side, Ray.
Nice working with you, Dr. Venkman.
Just bring back your classic. He'll be somewhere in the middle, so don't worry.
What we need is the next Ghostbusters video game to come out. And then
one just dropped.
And then we'll bring him in to talk about Ghostbusters.
Maybe it's after we watch Frozen Empire or what.
And then you'll realize there's a second half of the podcast, and then that's when we'll hit him with all the stuff. Like, I just looked down at the show notes, and the first word I saw was fascist. So,
speaking of hyenas and Lion King,
so it's going to be that kind of episode.
Fascism.
This is a podcast about video games. Welcome to the podcast about video games, where we talk about video games. What does video games have to do with fascism? Keep watching and find out.
Find out, motherfuckers. Let's find out.
Let's find out right now. What we doing? What are we going? What are we talking about?
I think we should go to to honor a legendary career.
Indeed.
And I think we should go to the start. Obviously, this was announced basically when we were podcasting last week. I think so. Great, a manga creator of Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, and also the video, and also helped Gonna say those ones. Yep. Thank you very much. Akira Toriyama has sadly passed away. The 1st of March, I think. I think it actually was 7th.
Quite a thing, yeah.
Sorry, yeah, 7th. But obviously we didn't find out until like I think a week later.
Oh,
and everything.
Yeah.
So.
It was announced on the 7th. Sorry, yeah, I'm reading it there. Sorry,
it's all good.
Oh, no, it's all right. Sadly passed away. An influential creator of not just obviously, arguably one of the biggest animators of all time in Dragon Ball itself. I think the only thing that really goes toe to toe to it when it comes to phenomenon is basically, for me, probably One Piece, just of how big One Piece is and everything like that, just for how the longevity it's had and everything. Akira Toriyama is like, he is one of the biggest icons out there, and sadly he did pass away. But he also is like, a lot of people obviously remember him for Dragon Ball, but like what you just said there, Amy, with the games, he's also helped create as well. With Chrono Trigger, which a lot of people consider one of the greatest RPG games of all time, along with the Dragon Quest, which is highly influential out there. Like, so it's like it's a shame, but yeah, it's like he's had an amazing life, bringing out some amazing characters and bringing out some amazing games as well. So it's like, but obviously, all of our thoughts obviously go to his family and everything, and hope he is resting in peace now. And looking down on us, seeing the love that I've just seen nothing but love from online and everything for the man and everything. So, like, there was even a fun one that came from from the guy who was in the live action Dragon Ball movie who played Goku. Like, he treated like a legend, but I think he also says sorry we ruined your movie. It's just like, you know what? Respect.
I'll tell you what, I learned more about the Dragon Ball movie in the last week than I did since it came out. And like, I don't think it was any of the actors' fault.
Oh no, it wasn't. I don't think Akira Toriyama was even a part of it.
No, definitely not.
Sandland, the game based on one of his works, is due to release in April, so I reckon that'll be well received from their countless fans all across the world, kind of thing. So, absolutely, it's they're a legend not only of the anime and manga world, but and everything they inspired as well, like you said, Moody. So, absolutely, it's a shame all around.
Yeah, and go and play Dragon Quest. Like, maybe not the first one, but just go and play a Dragon Quest game. Like, I talked about this book a while ago, Fight Magic Items, which is about the history of the JRPG genre. And, like, Dragon Quest and Final Fantasy were, like, the two games that basically started the entire genre. And, you know, Akira Toriyama was, like, the guy who created the art style of Dragon Quest. So he's, like, one of the grandfathers of an entire genre of video games that we all still enjoy to this day. So you should go play
absolutely. And there's like lineage between the characters and the creatures he designed for Dragon Quest, and then like what Pokemon turned into and things like that. And you can see where the influences lie. So I think they've had a lasting impact on pretty much any video game that you touch.
Yeah, there's no doubt about like he like the creator of One Piece is like a massive fan of him and like holds him nothing but in the highest esteems and everything. And like they've even he even delayed the latest chapter of One Piece that was meant to release. I don't think it's not going to come out now until at least for another week, I think, which is just a mark of great respect from the man and everything. And it's just like understandable because I believe those two were very good friends and everything for it, which is just the guy. This man touched so many lives of just with his amazing characters. Like I've got two, you can't see him, but I've got two displays up there of my favorite Dragon Ball character in Gohan. I love the character Gohan, Goku's son. He was my character when I was growing up, and everything. It was like obviously became the main character at the end of a certain saga. I was just like, yes, fuck yes, great and everything. And I was feeling it was amazing, and it's great to see like Dragon Ball, even though it's like certain things I have not liked and everything, just for certain character development and everything like that. I've still loved the shows, and I've still loved like the films and everything. Like I've bought all the films, but before he passed away, it was weird when I heard that he passed. I was thinking, I've just bought all his films. I've just bought all the Dragon Ball since like Battle of the Gods and everything. Since like when it's rejuvenated itself a few years back, I've literally just bought them. And I was just thinking, that was weird. It just felt really weird when I was just thinking of that. But yeah, it's like rest in peace, and his legacy's like he's gonna live on forever. Like you see it in like what you see in Vits, you see it everywhere.
Yeah. Absolutely. So, どうもありがとうございます。Akira Toriyama-san. All right. Where would you like to go next, friends?
Where would you like to go? Amy, you said like you seemed like you wanted to go somewhere, so let's go somewhere.
No, I didn't. I mean, to bed. Can I go to bed? Is that an option?
Can we talk about some brilliant news before we get to what typically seems to be terrible news? So Activision's QA workers formed the largest US video game union yet. So around 600 workers, this is taken from The Verge, around 600 workers in Activision Publishing Quality Assurance Department have formed a union cited by the Communications Worker of America. The employees completed their vote with the results certified on Friday. Plus, Microsoft has voluntarily acknowledged that the union is a thing. So at least for me and my perspective, looking at what IGN Creators Guild did, and it took Ziff Davis quite a while to get that ball rolling in terms of them needing to put a petition out and getting like tens of thousands of signatures before Ziff Davis was like, all right, we can voluntarily recognize you. And what that means, for those of you who may not be in the know, is that they are essentially invited to sit at the table to when all of these big decisions are made about whether it's working conditions or pay or holidays and all that jazz. So for Microsoft to say, without no fuss and no muss, is that of course like you're invited because you formed this union, then is good. And I I didn't see this happening during the Kotick era.
Oh hell no.
No.
Oh no. He tried to kill it and everything, and he did try and kill it. So,
Yeah.
no, yeah, this is amazing and everything. Like with all the layoffs that are going on right now, just to see that like the union is all coming together to try and bring out some trying to job security to try and help you out in best ways they can and everything. And this is a fantastic thing. Like it's the largest in the US in video games. It's amazing. It has had to happen because of the terrible conditions that have happened, that have been brought up over the last few years that we've all talked about and everything, which should have never happened. Where like I stand by, like I said it ages ago, like we should never have to unionize. The company should be able to look after us and take care of the people, take care of its staff, helps the company make money, and create the product.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have to unionize to fight against just to get a working wage, to get good working conditions. Shouldn't have to do all of this. Shouldn't have to work a stupid hours and everything. So congratulations to them. Like I say, I'm so happy for them and everything. So.
Hell yes.
Hell yeah. Unionize, baby.
Mm-hmm.
It's at Hack the Planet. Unionize the planet.
Yes.
That was your scheduled 90s reference for the podcast.
There you go. You can tick that off your bingo cards.
Take that off.
Everybody can just go home.
Done.
Where would you like to go next, everybody?
It was a light news week this week, but after all the stick I got for the last time I said that, I didn't say that before the podcast. Oh, I'll tell you what was funny. This is a total tangent, but like obviously, like I said that before. I said that right before like the PlayStation closed the studio and did a bunch of stuff, and these two are in the chat going, "It's Amy's fault." She said there was no news this week. This is Amy's fault. And last week, and so the last week when we were talking about console generations, and I said like, and like I interjected at one point a total like segue tangent thing of just like when people say things look like a PS3 game, who cares? And then like the Rise of the Ronin previews dropped, and one of the first things I saw was someone saying this looks like a PS3 game, and I was like, I did it again.
Yeah.
Oh no!
You just need to write your thoughts down, and then we can publish
It's
them.
like,
right?
God damn, who needs sources? Just listen to the stupid shit I say. Half of it will probably.
I don't need to hear from my
manifest
uncle.
itself.
I've got Amy in my life.
She doesn't even know she's doing it.
She just says it.
She just says stuff, and then it happens. Yeah. Anyway, sorry. That just reminded me.
No, it's all good. I like that.
Amy, say we'll win the lottery if we put it on.
But it's like a monkey's paw type situation. If I say we're going to win the lottery, what will probably happen is one of us will go bankrupt. That seems to be the way. That seems to be the way these things seem to work, right? Like It's a Slow News Week turned into everybody got laid off, and why do people care about PS3 graphics turned into someone caring about PS3 graphics and me having a facepalm? Not just.
Don't worry about it. I'm already bankrupt. My car's broken, basically. So don't worry. I'm already there. So whatever you
the
say,
box, there you go.
See, bing,
we'll all have an agreement to say if one of us does happen to win, then we'll look after each other, kind of thing.
I would just assume that's an unspoken agreement. Does anyone here play the lottery?
Yes.
Fine. It would be such a shame. It would be such a shame if Moody won the lottery. Like a genuine shame.
Why did you have to sound so sarcastic when you said that?
That was the best. So mean. That was the best I could do. Okay.
Yes, you could do.
All right, fine. Let's try this. You know how much I hate billionaires, right?
Do you want to make the list, Moody?
Do you want to make the list?
I need to be a billionaire.
Moody just wants to be an heir at this point. Never mind millions or billions.
Yeah. I'll be an heir. That's fine.
Take a fiver. Oh, fine. I'll take it.
Speaking of money and records breaking, Monster Hunter World tops 25 million sales to cement record-breaking status at Capcom. Everyone says, hey, Resi save Capcom. No, it was Monster Hunter fucking World, people. Or actually, it was a good back to back.
I was going to say it was both.
Yeah, but anyway, that's good. Yeah, this game came like Monster Hunter World, like when it was revealed at the PS4 E3 event. I think it was the one where God of War was revealed as well. Spider-Man.
That sounds all right. 2016. Yeah,
I think so. E3. Yeah, but they were in the theater and everything. Yeah, that was.
Yes.
It still stands to today. One of the greatest E3s. Believe it.
Konami.
Yeah.
Konami. Greatest E3 I've ever seen.
What was cool? Okay. Yeah, it's like no one thought the everyone thought the game looked but didn't know it was going to be this phenomenon. And like now it's on a phenomenon. They've had an amazing success for Rise that came out on Nintendo, and obviously you have the rest of the consoles now. And obviously they've got a new one coming out next year, which is going to be
wild.
Yes, which is going to be wild. Well done to them. Like Capcom, like a lot of people ages ago were literally thinking, like before all of this happened, was like, are they gonna get bought? Are they gonna die? Are they gonna what? It's like, what's gonna happen? But no, it's like a new person came in and has led them in a great direction and everything. Yes, we've questioned some of the choices and everything of like how they've done like DLC and other stuff, but yeah. Well done to them.
They brought so many badges to the table, and then they're giving us the people Monster Hunter.
I'm waiting for it. I'm not saying anything. I'm not saying anything. I'm waiting. I know it. Moody wants to talk about.
Biding your time.
Moody wants to talk about Capcom. I know where this is going.
I'm not going to say anything. I just realised what you're waiting for.
That's the next card. That's the next spot on the bingo card, Moody. You got to see how are they going to complete the row?
Say the
Every
line,
time
Moody.
Capcom comes up, I have to say the line, Moody.
That's another 90s reference for you there,
give me
kids.
Dino Crisis. Give me Dino Crisis.
Here it is.
So if ScarJaw's apparently going to do a Jurassic World movie, you can give me a Dino Crisis remake. I think that's fair.
Can we talk about how, obviously, the Monster Hunter World, brilliant game, everybody loves it. You know, you got your palicos, you've got your pigs that you can dress in sun hats and carry around in your arms and stuff. And then you got whatever the Monster Hunter World movie was, or Monster Hunter movie was with Mila Jovovich, and
You never
I think
give
it was
a game series to Paul W.S. fucking Anderson. He's the worst director of all time because he puts his wife in everything. Sorry
to
for
be fair,
one bits.
the one project he didn't put his wife in, the original Mortal Kombat film in 1995, is so bad it's actually amazing. I will say that.
It's such an awful film, but somehow it's quite watchable.
And Liu Kang's hair is gorgeous. I have no bad word said about that man's hair.
But if you think Paul W.S. Anderson is the worst video game movie director of all time, you all need to watch some Uwe Boll films.
That's true. That's so true.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. See?
Moody, your sweet summer child, don't burden yourself with that.
Do it. Do
I'm
it.
not, don't worry
I'll send
about
you
it.
an IMDb link. I'll do it.
Oh, we're good.
Do it. What did he make? Like, it's been so long since I've seen one of his films. I need to check now.
Yeah.
I know he
you
did.
are right,
Didn't he?
Robert.
Was he the guy that wanted to did an interview and said he would fight? He would fist fight any of his critics in a boxing.
So yes, I think so. They are responsible for such movies as Alone in the Dark and Blood Rain.
Now, I remember Blood Rain.
They've done In the Name of the King,
Alone in the Dark.
Dungeon. Postal was probably the most famous
Jesus.
product that they did.
No, God, I played that game. Ah, here we go. Far Cry, Blood Rain, Postal, Alone in the Dark, House of the Dead. I feel like there's one that I'm thinking of that I'm missing. I love the fact that they've all got like 2s and 3s on IMDb. Oh my God. I've scrolled up and he made a film called Auschwitz.
Oh no! So he did as well.
Oh God! All right,
What's
I'm doing
this for a
now.
title? Backflash 2: Angels Don't Sleep Here. Got 2.7 stars.
I remember the Blood Rain film though, because like the Lady Terminator was in that film. That was the confusing thing about Uwe Boll. Like he made such terrible films. But like you kept
Christiane
getting,
Loken, right? Yeah, she was in the film.
you kept managing to get like everybody in those films. Like fucking Michael Madsen was in that film. Meatloaf was in that film.
Ben Kingsley's in this film. Michelle Rodriguez is in this film. As you say, Meatloaf. Everybody's in this goddamn film.
It was like
Billy Zane.
How are all these people in this film?
Who's giving them the money to afford these stars?
But yes, Monster Hunter, great game.
Yes.
Great game.
Terrible movie.
Terrible multiplayer. Well, the multiplayer is good.
Yeah.
But you have to like do a bunch of stuff to make it work.
Doing a whole dance. Yeah.
I don't want you to go into a cutscene before the other one does, because then no, it all breaks.
I would like that Monster Hunter Worlds could be a seamless experience that we could enjoy together. Because we did our best to enjoy Monster Hunter Rise.
Yeah. The thing is, it's just the terrible connectivity through the Switch was just a pain in the ass. Hopefully, like, because Wilds is going to be on everything, hopefully it'll maybe have better connectivity. Hopefully, maybe.
Good multiplayer. That's all.
Yeah.
That's all.
Team up to take down monsters.
Well, yeah, you like stabbing them, and I like shooting them. So, like, we're like the perfect monster hunting team.
There you go. Yeah.
Boom.
Hell.
It was really good. It was really good. Rise was a really good game. I had a lot of fun with it. Just on terrible hardware. Yeah, I said it, Nintendo fans. I said it.
How very dare you?
The bitch to fucking test.
Nintendo. Can we talk about Nintendo hardware for a while? Because Nintendo is a confounding company, like for their hardware. Because you know what, I was thinking about the Wii U recently because I've got my old games consoles, and one I don't have is a Wii U. But like, I was one of the 7 people that bought one of those consoles, and like, like I get why it failed, but like it had like one of the best fucking like game libraries of like Nintendo games. Like it was crazy
and
how
the
good
Switch
that
benefited from all those.
Yeah, it was crazy how good that console was for like the games that came out on it versus how it sold like no units. Like it's wild.
Yeah, I think it was terribly named, terribly marketed, and I think it overreached in terms of, okay, we've got this tablet device. We saw what the vision was in terms of what the Switch turned into, in terms of being a hybrid console system and all the rest of it. But yeah, it wasn't utilized. And the whole, when you play Mario Kart on it, the whole touchscreen is just a big horn. And that's the total functionality.
That was awesome. Get out of the fucking way, man. It was better than that fucking...
And this is why Amy doesn't drive in real life.
It was better than that fucking Fatal Frame game where it's like the camera was the the thing, you know?
The thing is about when it comes to the Wii, like Wii U, obviously one of the biggest, most successful consoles of all time. They completely sold that for everybody. The Wii U wasn't for everybody. No. That's the thing about they literally alienated the general gaming audience, basically.
They got them, and then they alienated them in the space of 1 generation.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And then obviously brought them back when it came to where they saw, wait, how can we take these nunchucks and the Wii U box, the handheld part, and put these together somehow? Ta-da! The Switch!
Someone, right, they just had a bunch of shit lying around, right? In the offices, and it was like, bring your kid to work day, and someone's kid was just fucking about and had like a Wii U gamepad and was just bashing a nunchuck off of it. Meanwhile, Shigeru Miyamoto was sat in the staring, going, "That's it,
we've got it." And he clicked his fingers. That's where the Switch click was born.
That's how it happened. That is lore accurate. But like, no, like I tend to find like, the Switch notwithstanding, that like most of Nintendo's hardware, like the ones that don't sell as well, have the better software libraries.
Yeah, like GameCube.
Like the GameCube has like so many bangers, but it didn't sell very well. The Wii U had so many bangers, which history has proven me right on, because they've re-released them all on the Switch and they've sold really, really well.
Sure have.
But yeah, it's just, I don't know, it was weird. I was just thinking about it. Plus, the Wii U is objectively a better console than the Switch because you can play Wind Waker on it.
This is true. Checkmate, Jin and Yancy,
Checkmate.
friends.
That's how it works. Is this one of the greatest consoles of all time? The only question you ask yourself is, can I play a Wind Waker on it? Nintendo edition. Nintendo edition.
Great stuff.
Remember Zombie U?
I do remember Zombie U, yeah.
That was supposed to be like the next big thing, right?
This is like following on the hills of like Red Steel and stuff like that, of things that are going to be cool.
With the sword fighting on the Wii with the nunchucks and stuff. Yeah. It was like when they showed off the sword fighting in Zelda, and it was like Miyamoto on the stage going shra, shra, and then it was
and then your man saying, "You got to turn off all your mobile phones with the reception." And
it was just, but when you played the game, it was just, if instead of pushing the button, if you just go like this, Link will swing his sword. It doesn't matter. Like, it's not like 1-to-1.
Didn't they? Because Link traditionally is a left-handed person, right? But then for that release, they essentially flipped it, so Link became a right-handed character.
I guess. Is Link left-handed? That was an interesting autofill. So
tell the class.
Is Link left or right-handed was number 1.
Right.
Is Link an elf is number 2.
Okay.
Is Link a boy or a girl is number 3.
Right.
Is Link bi? Has it ever come up?
I don't think it's ever come up, has it?
I think people shipped Link and Prince Sidon hard in Breath of the Wild, so I can see that.
Right under that is Link gay?
Okay, yeah.
Is Link in love with Zelda? Is Link
What
a
kind
girl?
of stupid ass question is that?
Is Link British?
Yes. A character who hasn't said anything in like 20 years.
Well, that explains everything. He must be British because we're like the second worst country for being the most miserable. So yeah,
Stiff upper lip and
Explains
everything.
everything.
Never said anything.
explains everything.
Is Link immortal?
Is what?
Is Link immortal?
I mean,
Games keep selling, so yeah.
yeah. Dude's got flawless skin.
Is there like any? I wonder if there's any other game characters you can do this one. Is Zelda taller than Link? That's the number one. If you type "is Zelda," is Zelda taller than Link?
Yes.
Yeah. He was. I don't know. Link was pretty tall in Twilight Princess, but then Zelda wasn't in that one.
Yeah.
So suspicious. You never saw them in the same room.
Yeah.
And then is Zelda in love with Link? Is Zelda Link?
Okay.
Is Zelda on Xbox?
Right.
Not a lot is on Xbox. Apparently. We don't have games.
Well, all their games are out on Nintendo, right? So
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
PlayStation. Yeah.
because they're dead, their brand is dead.
I think on the green box.
Is Mario? These are all pretty boring. Is Luigi? Is Luigi Mario's brother?
No.
I don't know, man. Isn't Mario's name canonically Mario? Because they're the Mario brothers.
Sure is. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Forget where I heard that.
I think it was on
Mario,
this very
Mario.
podcast. We were going through old Vitspity questions.
Oh, that might have been where I heard it.
Yeah.
So what I should do to prepare for future Vitspity episodes
Yes.
is just do what I'm doing right now. Just type
It is Donkey Kong, blah, blah.
what is
For 500 points.
Donkey Kong.
Seth Rogen.
You see, these ones are kind of boring as well.
Related to King Kong.
Yep. If I add the word related,
Yes.
that would be the first result. Is he related to King Kong or is he related to Diddy Kong? Is he related to Funky Kong?
Wasn't Funky Kong like the original Donkey Kong?
I don't know.
Who like went up against Jumpman?
Was Funky Kong the original Donkey Kong's a bit of a weird. The Donkey Kong Country television series, Funky Kong appears as a main character, with his character being relatively the same as in the games. That doesn't answer my question. Thank you, Google.
Who wins
All
in a
right.
fight, King Kong or Donkey Kong?
Who wins in a fight between Donkey Kong and King Kong? Google Whack, the Nintendo edition. We don't Quora, no. Do we want to go to Reddit?
No.
No.
Okay. There's a video. Quora, Screen Rant. There's not really any sort of like.
There's no definitive answers what I'm hearing.
So well, who do you think would win in a fight?
Put King Kong in Smash, let's see.
Yeah, Nintendo. Sakurai, put King Kong
Sakurai,
in Smash.
get off your ass. Get it done. But bring Godzilla with you as well.
About to team up with
Yeah.
Godzilla, so obviously Donkey Kong would have to get some friends to help him as well. So
I mean, he's got a fair few.
Well, Donkey Kong would then just would team up with Bowser in that scenario.
Yes.
perfect scenario, actually.
Yeah. Like, he's got the perfect partner for that fight.
A lizard fights a lizard, an ape fights an ape. It's all good.
King K. Rool sitting on the side saying, "Who am I, chopped liver?"
Like, King Kong can climb tall skyscrapers and bat airplanes out of the sky, but Donkey Kong can throw barrels.
Mm-hmm.
But would King
And ride a
Kong
rhino.
just bat the barrels out of the sky. But then we're locked in a stalemate.
All we need, though, at the end, though, is Ken Watanabe to come on and say, "Let them fight."
He's like the stage announcer for the Smash stage.
Yeah. He's been living off he's been living off that line ever since.
What stage? What would the stage be in Smash?
It's got to be Final Destination.
Would it not have its own
takes
stage?
place in Final Destination.
So every character comes with their own stage. So like, if you add King Kong to Smash Brothers, what stage?
New York?
Would it be New York or would it be Skull Island?
Skull Island has to be Skull Island.
I don't know if you're Peter Jackson or
That would be Godzilla.
Well, Godzilla's just won an Oscar, so it has to be Tokyo, right?
Well, they had both. So like, you get Godzilla in, and it's Tokyo is his level.
Yeah.
And like Godzilla can power up by smashing buildings down or whatever. And I guess you would add New York.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like one of those vertical auto scrollers where it's like you go up the tower.
Yes.
Well, he went to San Francisco in the Godzilla 2014 movie, so could be San Francisco instead.
That wasn't the one I'm thinking. I've only seen one Godzilla movie.
Which one you gonna say? Yeah.
Was it the one where they go deeper underground? Jamiroquai.
Is there a worm guy involved?
There is, yeah.
Did it star one person?
Godzilla, it was a girl in this one.
Gotcha.
Yes, that was the thing. I remember that. Yes.
Yes.
No wonder it didn't succeed. It was woke. They made Godzilla a girl. Jesus.
You ever like the post-credit scene of that one where there was one egg and it hatched?
It couldn't have been woke because woke already hadn't been invented in the 90s.
That's true. It just had Matthew Broderick running around.
Therefore, Godzilla, they changed Godzilla into a boy, and that's what made it woke.
There you go.
Facts.
Friends, that film was so old that that one of the principal characters in there was a camera person, and they used a VHS tape to try and record everything.
Oh wait, that was the one where he was looking up, and then the foot came down, but he went in between Godzilla's toes. Shit, I forgot about that part. Yeah,
he pooped himself.
But it wasn't Luc Besson in that movie, the guy who played Leon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was a taxi driver, right?
Yeah.
He's the French spy.
Because of course, what do you need in a Godzilla movie? French spy.
He pulls up to this military base and he has this American accent, doesn't he?
It's like when they make Transformers movies and the main characters are all the little human people, and you're like, no, I came to see the Transformers. Why is this movie not about Transformers?
Podcast, but I think this is much more fun.
It's video game related. We were talking about Smash Brothers.
We need to do a watch party of the Godzilla movie.
What I want is fucking Godzilla -1 to come out on Blu-ray so I can buy the fucker, so I can watch it. It hasn't come out yet. Like, what the hell are you doing? You just won an Oscar. You want more money? Take my money. I'm giving it to you. I may not have money, but thanks to Amy, I'm going to win the lottery, so it's all good.
There you go. He's going to be an heir.
He's going to have a
He's airing waiting.
He's going to spend it on Godzilla -1.
Exactly.
And you know this motherfucker's going to buy it in 4K. He never shuts up about 4K. But no.
Put that fucking use.
Good idea, Vitz. We can add it to the thing that we were talking about last week.
Yes, we can.
It's tangentially related to video games. But we could watch that movie, but also old video game movies as part of it. You want to watch along of Super Mario Brothers? You want to watch along of Super Mario Brothers, starring Bob
and
Hoskins.
the original Mortal Kombat, and possibly the original Street Fighter movie as well. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
If we watch the first Mortal Kombat, we have to watch the second one because, like, I
didn't think they could
make a worse version of Mortal Kombat, and they succeeded. I loved both of those movies when I was a kid.
They changed Raiden. They changed the actor, and then like Sonya Blade.
Johnny Cage, the guy who played Johnny Cage, wouldn't come back, so they just killed him.
Yep.
Oh, it was amazing. It was so good. Oh, so that was the Nintendo Power Hour.
Yes.
It got a bit off the rails. I hope you enjoyed. Let us know who you think would win in a fight between King Kong and Donkey Kong and Godzilla and Bowser.
And Bowser, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Any combination of those characters.
And which Smash Brothers stage would they compete on?
And what would their music be?
Yes.
Godzilla's. It has to be Godzilla's. They played it at the Oscars. Amazing.
Let's do a halftime.
Yes.
I have a halftime.
Yeah.
I went so
ringing
far
halftime.
down the rabbit hole on Google, I'm just closing tabs right now. There we go. We've got an indie game of the week to talk about. This is the thing we do every week where we talk about a cool looking upcoming indie game that's coming out at some point. This week's indie game of the week is called Nobody Wants to Die. And the opening blurb is lose yourself in the dystopian world of New York 2329. Immortality comes at a price that someone has to pay. In this interactive noir story, lead the investigation using advanced technology as Detective James Cora, who risks it all in pursuit of a serial killer targeting the city's elite.
Ooh. Unconfirmed if this game does in fact feature King Kong.
Versus Donkey Kong. Forget Mario versus Donkey Kong. We need King Kong versus Donkey Kong Nintendo right now. I'm done. Yeah, no, this looks like a cool little indie game. I saw it. It was posted out. The reveal trailer was posted out by @ToadsAnime on Twitter and Bluesky. Follow them. Yeah. They're amazing. Like, I get half of the news that I put in this podcast from that account. It's like my number one source for video game news. But also follow this game. Sorry? He's more reliable than Jeff Grubb because he didn't report fucking rumors. Things I heard down at the fucking laundromat while I was washing my pants. Like... don't know why. I don't, yeah. This is indie game of the week. What happened to this podcast?
It's been amazing.
This
Wish list that game. Developers love you if they do.
The links in the description.
I'm going to spend this halftime break Googling where Link goes to his laundromat, where his local one is.
Why Link? I was talking about Grub. I'm so sorry, developers of Nobody Wants to Die. It looks like a fun looking cool game. The link to the Steam store page is in the description wherever you choose to get the podcast. Go click on it, go look at the game, go read the description, look at the screenshots, watch the trailer. And most importantly, wishlist the game because that's cool. As Moody said, developers love it when you wishlist games because it really helps them with the Steam algorithm. I'm going to go and try and stop the giggles from surfacing during our halftime break.
Eagles are coming.
It's a good time for a break, everybody.
Let them giggle.
Bye.
Bye.
Moody's already gone.
He's peace out.
He's like, fuck this shit. I didn't sign up for this. Well, that was an eventful first half. When I said, I want to talk about the Wii U, I didn't think that was going to happen.
Enjoyed it.
Hey, that's the point. Right? Let's all just enjoy the things that we talk about and do on this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, that means not all of the things that we talk about on this podcast.
Yeah, let's see where the second half goes.
I don't know. Where is the second half going?
All hail fascism!
Apparently.
Alrighty then.
Goddamn. All right. You know how it's been like 10 minutes for us, but it's been like 10 seconds for anybody watching the podcast.
How can the wheel and the do whatever mood you just did?
It's literally so someone watching or listening to this podcast is literally just going from me talking about Jeff Grubb washing his pants at the laundromat to all hail fascism. And that's the social media experience in a nutshell. Mm-hmm. I almost said nutsack.
I thought you said nutsack.
I almost did.
Flip that. You're really good. Here is social media in a nutsack.
Social media is a nutsack.
Yeah.
And that is the topic of our next story.
So this goes into the story from Polygon that for some, Helldivers 2 players the fascist roleplay has gone too far. Now, let's just break down the headline for a little bit. Fascist roleplay. What bit does it have to go before it's too far? For me, it's if it starts at all, then it's gone too far. It's one of them.
Not far enough. It's not far enough.
The thing about Helldivers 2 that only some of its player base gets is that it's a satire. Like Starship Troopers, it's a satire.
Like Starship Troopers, exactly.
Yeah, because it's very heavily inspired by Starship Troopers, which was a satire of fascism. So the fascist role player, you're right. Like maybe we shouldn't be role playing as fascists at all. But I mean that's kind of the premise of the game, right? And you can role play it as, what was the guy's name again?
Gantz.
It's one Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah.
Johnny Rico.
Yeah.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, Johnny Rico.
I was thinking of the actor, but yeah, Johnny Rico.
Rico!
Sure. Like, you can Rico's Rangers?
And?
What was it? It was Rico's somethings.
Rico's Roughnecks.
Rico's Roughnecks. That was it. Yeah, like you can roleplay as Rico's Roughnecks. As long as you're under the understanding of this is satirical.
Yes.
Like if you're seriously role playing as Rico's Roughnecks, seek immediate psychological help.
Seek help.
Something has gone wrong in your brain.
Away?
Yeah, you need to put the video game down for a bit.
We're not sponsored by them, but call BetterHelp.
Yes.
Something like that.
Put the video game down, but whatever you do, don't pick up a gun.
Yeah. Oh God,
Jesus.
for God's sake.
Sorry, I need...
No, you're fine.
Fascism has killed Amy.
Probably will, you know. Yeah, so I'll just read part of the news story. It took Gantz the Demon 10 days to be able to play Helldivers 2 again. On February 21st, TikTok user AJ Gaming shared a video featuring Gantz killing them. The sequence went viral overnight, garnering 4.8 million views as of this writing. A subsection of the Helldivers 2 community, hung up on the politically charged satire theme of the online shooter, labelled the player as a traitor and began inciting others to shoot on sight. Alongside dozens of TikToks campaigning for a witch hunt, Gantz's PlayStation account was temporarily banned after receiving hundreds of reports. I'm going to skip the quote and just go to the next part. Just a few weeks after the launch of Helldivers 2, in which thousands of players were forced to wait in a queue due to the servers being at max capacity, almost every day, Gantz the Demon was immortalized in the fan lore. According to Gantz, however, it was all a misunderstanding. The team kill was payback for a friend being attacked by 2 random players in a team of 4. Gantz then avenged them, which is the clip we've all seen. Asterix, I haven't seen this.
I have not seen this clip.
Not gonna learn, Gantz. Don't know who you are. Probably will forget your name by the end of the podcast.
The Gantz situation has since cemented itself as an example of how the in-game theme of fighting and war together is, for better or worse, resounding in the community beyond the game itself. And then there's a whole article where the author of the article interviewed a ton of people. And so we've been talking about Helldivers 2's developers and CEO for a bit. And they've been doing some cool stuff on social media. And we've been like, hey, that's pretty cool. Keep doing that. And what I think we've all missed... partially because we're not Helldivers 2 players, is the direction the community is going in.
Too far is the direction.
Which seems to be a toxic direction. Because it's all fun in games, you're having fun, and it's the Malevolon Creek thing we talked about, where it was like the games of Vietnam, which is, I did air quotes for audio listeners.
Yes.
That was what they called it. That's all fun and games, and liberating the factory to get the mechs unlocked. I thought was a really nice touch and stuff. And I can see positive aspects of the community and positive community interactions forming as part of it, but I didn't see any of this really hella toxic stuff happen. Forming around until this article pointed me in the direction of all of it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Because I think mostly it's when toxicity happens, even though they can be a vocal, loud minority, they are still just very small. It's just they can be very loud. Sadly, this one has sadly been completely drowned out the most part because of just how great the game apparently is for a lot of people. They're getting their friends together and going having a lot of fun, shooting the shit out of bugs, everything like that, and whatnot. And that's the simple premise of the game. I'm super simplifying it. I'm sure there's more to the game than just that. But like, yeah, everyone's having a great time and everything, and then you get this, which does eventually does. Every game has a toxicity part to it. Sadly, there's always when it comes to something big happens, when it comes to a video game, when it comes very popular, there's always a toxic side to it. Sadly, it always happens. No offense, I bet there's a toxic side to Baldur's Gate 3, which was one of the biggest games of last year. Same goes for Zelda and all the other great games that came out last year. And whatever great game comes out in the future and everything, sadly, it's going to be a toxic side to it. It just all depends on how much it gets drowned out at the end of the day.
I think, to your point, I think it just reflects society. There's toxic people in society, and if your game attracts society, that's what you're going to get as well.
Damn. Yeah. Well, if your game attracts society, and you two live in a society, I'm very intelligent. Shit.
We've still got the giggles.
We've still got the giggles. But no, one of the key sort of fulcrums of toxicity in Helldivers 2 is the formation of a meta, which I hate meta. Like, the fact that this has become a thing. This has become a thing in team-based competitive games over the course of the last, 5-10 years. Drives me up the fucking wall. Like in the article, it said that one of the issues is people quitting out, people getting kicked people getting killed because like griefing is a big problem in Helldivers too, because of how the game works. Friendly fire is enabled, and is more often than not hilarious, but can also be abused quite easily for griefing purposes. And one of those griefing purposes, and one of the more prevalent ones, according to this article, and chatter I've seen about the game on social media, is you don't have the meta, the most powerful weapons, armors, whatever's in
load out, that kind of thing,
load out, and so we're gonna kill you until you leave our game. And it's like it's supposed to be fun, guys. Like
nobody comes in to be hazed and bullied.
Yeah. Like meta was a big deal in a game I did play for a while, which was Overwatch, and like I respected the meta when I was playing competitive, which was one of the modes in the game, like because I feel like that's where it works. It's the competitive mode. If you're playing in that mode, you're trying to play to win specifically. But also, I was never really that I was never really that toxic about it, and but I also had a full team of people. I never went in competitive with randos. However, you would still meet that toxicity in quick play, which I did into every now and again when I wanted to have fun and not play my strongest characters, or like my role. So like it's one of these things where it's just like it's been driving me up the wall for a long time, and to see it like present itself as a problem in Helldivers 2 is like kind of putting me off the game.
Yeah, no, I can see that.
So I'm just like, I don't need this in my life anymore. Like, I don't want to play the meta in Helldivers 2. I want to have fun. I want to summon a dropship and I accidentally land on Moody's head and for us all to laugh.
And I think now I don't know if they have a mode like that in the game. I'm guessing because it's not mentioned in the article that they don't. So it's something I won't be surprised. Again, I don't know anything, but I'll be very surprised if this is something they're not trying to get sorted. But then maybe just do an update where they put in a thing, maybe an extension or something in the future, and they bring this together and everything.
I hope so, because a lot of people that I know are really digging in this game, and obviously they have their friends groups who they play with and kind of party up with on a daily basis kind of thing. And it's one of these where it would be a shame if this vocal minority ruin it for everybody.
Yeah, no doubt. Games are for everyone. Like when we were arguing against basically the Xbox fanboys saying games are for everyone. Let your games go everywhere. It's the same for this thing. Just like just let everyone play the game how they want to play it. Don't be a douche. Don't be an asshole. Just why do you need to go and disrupt some other person's game? Just go and enjoy yourself.
I hope that they manage to find a resolution to this before hypothetically, this game also gets ported to Xbox because it's available for those who aren't aware. It's available on PS5 and on PC through Steam at the moment. I think when this game needs another injection of new players, it makes financial sense to release it on Xbox, even though there is a PlayStation property for a better word. But yeah, I think anecdotally the online community when playing Xbox games tend to be branded more toxic than others. Whether it's true or not, I can't say for certain. But those are the vibes that you get when you read or when you hear about things that like on Call of Duty multiplayer maps and things like that, and Halo matches and what for. So it'll be nice to see if they manage to nip this in the bud before a whole bunch of new players come to the game.
Well, that's it, isn't it? Because the thing about a multiplayer game such as this is it's currently, because it's so new, it's currently setting its tone in terms of like its community, and like once you've set that tone, it's difficult to reset it in any meaningful way. And that's what Arrowhead needs to, in terms of like their moderation and like their like game design philosophies, like, because like a lot of the fascist roleplay comes out of the game mechanics, and the game story and the way it presents itself. And before, like, excuse me. So, and the thing that Arrowhead needs to watch out for is if people see a lot of this, like if they like jump into Helldivers 2 and they start getting griefed because they're new players who don't have the correct loadouts, or because of some other stuff that I'm going to jump into once we finish talking in this section, that'll drive players away from the game who might otherwise love it. Like myself, when I posted this story in our Discord, I was like, maybe I'll skip Helldivers 2. Yeah. Actually.
Yeah, just put in a play with friends mode. That's all. It's like play with friends, play by yourself. Do the same thing and everything like that. Just in a private server,
which I think you can do. Like I think you can play. Like I think you contribute to the war effort and stuff. If it's anything like the original game, but I think you can just play privately with friends. But it kind of sucks that that's a thing. Like I only play multiplayer games like this with my friends. Like I don't ever want to be on a team with random people because of stuff like this. It's prevalent in all video games. It has been since I was playing Halo 2 online on the original Xbox. Like the shit that I would hear playing that game when voice comms were open. And like you were just forced to talk to everybody. It just kind of sucks that like if we all played Helldivers and there was a night where it's like, well, you guys can't make it, but I really want to play it, but then I've got to potentially run into situations like this. I'd rather not, so I just won't play it. But there was another part of the story as well, and I'm picking up the new story from a specific point later on. When Wendy Wilson joined the official Discord, she asked if it would be possible to have pride flag capes added to Helldivers 2. She told Polygon she's since been receiving messages telling her to, quote, keep your shit out of our game, end quote, followed by slurs and harassment after she changed her profile picture to the trans flag in protest. After posting a long message on the official Helldivers 2 Discord detailing the events and asking for proper moderation, she was timed out for 24 hours, her message was deleted, and another swarm of people DM'd her. Quote, disallowing discussion only causes LGBT members of the community to hide while bigots get to remain, end quote. Read an excerpt from the deleted message. Which is just, like, it seems like Arrowhead are taking the we don't talk about politics here stance.
Yeah.
In a game satirizing fascism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is only going to lead to the fascist role players who are taking it too seriously to be the prevalent voices in places like their official Discord.
It's endorsing that kind of behavior as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's where, like, I hate, like, it's going to sound really weird when it really contradictory what I'm going to say. I fucking hate Discord for the most part. Like, I know we're in it.
Podcast is about to implode. Everybody get down.
Like, so I know when you say things,
you see on here on Discord, it's just vile and disgusting. and to see that developers aren't like, I understand, like, fucking, I don't know, I don't understand their stance of, oh, we keep our politics out of this type of thing. No, a person is getting attacked. Unless you're okay with them getting attacked, showing that I like my little jokey jab, saying, "Hey, maybe you are fascist," type of thing. Yeah, I'm gonna start questioning this like crazy. Like, okay, now do we have to start questioning you as people? Do we have to start questioning you as developers? Definitely, because no one deserves to get bullied and attacked for whatever their ethnicity is, their sexual orientation is, whatever. I don't give a fuck. Do not allow that. And if you see that, you stamp it out straight away. You get the people who are doing that, you kick them, you ban them. I don't care if they're like in your game whatsoever. There's just a level of morality, a level of just being good. That's all, just be good people. Don't be an asshole.
Yeah, it's just a standard of decency that you would expect, and
yeah,
it might be that they took this stance because they don't necessarily have the resources to moderate every community that pops up, but then you've got the backing and the might of Sony behind you, who have resources and have people, provided they haven't laid them all off, to parachute and help with this. And it's one of these where it's just not an excuse in today's, and I always it always irks me when people try to separate art from the artist and politics from a piece of art, which all things are, kind of thing. And sorry, I'm giving
said the phrase.
Aneurysm.
He said the thing, Moody.
He's got a new hole in her head.
Amy's having like a macro freak out that Cloud often does whenever anybody says one of those
flashbacks.
But yeah, it always irks me, and it's something that I will constantly. That's one of my many lines in the sand when it comes to these kind of things.
Well, yeah, like you got Arrowhead can't police any like external communities that pop up, but they can police their own Discord. They set the tone in their official Discord, which is where Wendy Wilson was talking about having this experience. And that's where the issue comes in for me, like to say like we've been talking nothing but praise for the Helldivers developers, even the CEO. I never praise CEOs, but a couple of weeks ago I was on here going, hey, the CEO said something quite good. It was quite clever. Good for him. But like I'm reading this and it's like, okay, so this is the direction your official community Discord is going, which means as far as I'm concerned, this is the kind of community that you're fostering. I don't want to be anywhere near that company. I don't want to be anywhere near that community. Like, I wouldn't go anywhere near that community if it was in any other game, any other multiplayer game. So I don't really want to touch it here. And yeah, the idea of as there was a Discord user, Bapanada. The problem here isn't actually the bigots. Those are an unfortunate fact of life that can never be fully eradicated. The problem is that Arrowhead's official spaces have made the deliberate decision to silence LGBTQ plus voices under the guise of banning any political discussion, as if people's identities are political. Which is a spot on thing to say. It's like, well...
Yeah.
So
people's identity are not politics.
Yeah, it's just me. Like, I'm just me. I'm not political by nature, like by my very existence.
None of any protected characteristics are in any way, shape, or form political. They're just who we are, kind of thing.
Yeah. And it's like, maybe I would want to join in with the funny fascism satire, like, if I wanted to get into this game.
Wants to be doing her part.
I'm going to do my part for Super Earth, spreading democracy. Like, I was talking about it when the game came out. I've quoted the line, how about a nice cup of liberty, from the original game since the fucking thing came out, because it's really funny and I enjoyed it. But like, when I look at the community that Arrowhead is fostering by the policies that they have enacted themselves... Well, I mean, no thanks, I guess.
Absolutely.
I'll stick to my other
1,000%.
And it sucks because it looks like a really fun game.
Yep.
And like I said, they're setting a tone, and once that tone solidifies, that's it. It's done. Like, Overwatch got a reputation for a toxic community, and it will always have that reputation. It doesn't matter what happens in the future.
You only get one shot to make a first impression.
Yeah.
Same like League of Legends, etc., 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 etc. Everything. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy because once that tone is set, the only people you're going to attract are those types of people.
Yep.
Start with a quote-unquote big IP last year. Everyone chose a side.
Brain.
Even I'm getting the Mako freak out.
Amy's Mako freakouts. It's fine.
I just see the black feather. It's my periphery.
It's an owl feather in this case.
There you go. Friends, do we want to take the conversation up, or do we want to just see how far this roller coaster goes down?
Well, let's do a little bump because speaking of Moody talking about Discords, like a lot of you know what, a lot of Discord communities are shit, but you know what, one Discord community that I'm in that's amazing. It's called Frost Fatales, which is well, actually it's called Frame Fatales, which is an offshoot of GDQ. And they just had a speedrunning event in the past week called Frost Fatales, where they speedran a bunch of games for a week and raised $153,816.40 for the National Women's Law Center, which was their highest total yet. So Frost Fatales is a spin-off of GDQ, which is Games Done Quick. It's a women and femmes specific community within the GDQ community, which I'm a member of their Discord. It's amazing. Go check it out if you want to be a part of it. It's fantastic. It's a fantastic place to be. And they raised a bunch of money for a really good cause. And had a great time doing it. Yes.
No, 1,000%. This is amazing. And yeah, absolutely. The National Women's Law Center.
I think that raises money for a great cause. Can't ask for much more.
Yep. Yeah. It's GDQ's entire reason for existing. Raising money for a really good cause.
Hell yes.
The next Fatales event will be in August, which is Flame Fatales 2024. But before that, Summer Games Done Quick is happening at the end of June.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
GDC's coming up.
And GDC's coming up.
I think it's next week or the week after, one or two.
Yeah, that sounds about right. All the weeks blend together at this point.
That's fair. That is
There's too many video game things, and they all keep happening. Mm-hmm. And I just want to play video games, but they keep making me want to watch video games on YouTube, and I don't get it. I'm low-key worried about even thinking the words Final Fantasy around YouTube. Because I know what I know what that recommendation algorithm will do to me.
Don't do that.
Speaking of Final Fantasy, let's do a check-in. Okay, let's do a check-in, Amy. Yeah, you brought it up. Let's bring it up and everything and whatnot. So let's do a check-in on Final Fantasy VII. How's everyone getting on with Final Fantasy VII?
I'll tell you next week when I've finished it.
Mm-hmm. Yes, at the time of recording, only one of us has finished the game as yet, and we're doing our utmost not to spoil anything for everybody else who's playing. There'll be an in-depth discussion next week or maybe the week after in terms of our thoughts and things, and maybe we'll just have that conversation offline as to not spoil any of the fine folks listening out there.
Oh, I mean, we'll do a spoiler-free review discussion next week. It's just I want to be on the same page as Fitz.
100%, yeah.
I did not expect him to just rapidly overtake me as this past week as he did.
Yeah. It's been a week, but it took me in total. I've sunk 85 hours into this game, and for the most part, it's been really, really good. By no means is it perfect. Like no game is perfect, kind of thing. There are segments of this game which I think are masterful, and there's segments of this game where it leaves me so frustrated that I'm on the verge of pulling my own hair out. So it swings and roundabouts, but. Yeah, for the most part, this has been a wonderful experience.
Yeah, shout out to you there, Vince. Like I said, shout out to you, Amy, and whatnot for this game and whatnot. I quit. I gave up.
Wait, hold on. I need to do my best impression of shocked Pikachu.
Amazing.
Did it
That's
work?
the thumbnail for this week.
That is mean, you know that, right?
Not really. You didn't like Remake.
True,
I'm glad you gave it a shot, but I'm not like
Yep.
hugely shocked that you didn't vibe with this one.
That's fair.
And especially
Well,
as someone,
live.
especially as someone who's played like I've played like 90% of this game at this point. But like the way they tried to market it as, don't worry, if you haven't played Remake, you can jump right into this. Even beforehand, as someone who had played the original game, I was like, how? And having played, the majority of this game, I still sit here and go, how?
Ow. Yeah.
I know in the lead up to this game, people were talking about there being like a 17-minute cut of here's what you missed by not playing Remake kind of thing. And they do have, the story so far, but I think it comes in around about, I want to say 8 minutes total. But it skips a lot of the stuff that made Remake great for me, and you lose out on a lot of the personal relationships that you develop with the characters, and essentially that's what carries you through the majority of Rebirth kind of thing. And it's disingenuous for Square Enix to say, you can jump in without having played anything else. I get you need to say that for marketing purposes to get people to buy the game who haven't heard of Final Fantasy VII before, but that was not a good part. That was not a good play.
The thing is, though, Amy's spot on though when it comes to me when it came to this. Like, I didn't vibe with Remake. Like, and the biggest thing that hurt Remake for me was sadly, or not sadly, is the thing that you, like I say, helped for you, It was the characters.
Yep.
Stories, they bored me. I thought they were just bland characters. I was just like, I don't like any of you. Why do I want to help you guys? Why do I want to continue playing this?
To be fair, neither does the Cloud in Remake. He takes a lot of
miserable,
convincing.
and he continues to be miserable in this game. Like, Tifa is just a person who's just chasing after him like a booty, and with a lack of character development, and then's getting annoyed with Eris. Barrett's just there, and then you got a dog, and a cat turns up eventually, and then other things happen and whatnot. I haven't clicked with it. I won't lie. Like,
that might be my favorite. That might be my favorite story recap I've ever heard.
That's the clip for me. First clip ever. Story recap.
Yeah.
But no, it's like everyone knows Final Fantasy IX is my Final Fantasy and everything like that. I appreciate the completely different games and everything. And like Final Fantasy VII is obviously at the top tier for a lot of people. Stubbed is like one of the best Final Fantasies out there, best RPGs out there. I can really appreciate it, and I respect that. I respect the love for it, and I respect the lore, and I respect what it's done for video games. I can appreciate that. It's getting bored me. I'm sorry. And I love that I praised everybody who was enjoying this game. Sadly, isn't working for me. I'll say this though, Square Enix, fucking jump on that card game and make a card game, proper game thing of that.
Actually,
that game is fucking awesome.
I'm not gonna talk about my thoughts on Rebirth again until next week. I promised myself that I would wait until I was finished the game, but I do want to jump on what you just said, because this has been a conversation between both myself and Vit, and you can actually help us answer this question. What is it about Queensblood that everybody's losing their mind over?
No fucking idea.
Because I don't.
It's just enjoyable.
I mean, I get it, and I've done the whole Queensblood quest line and stuff, and I figured out the cards and the synergies and all that stuff. But I remember when the reviews were dropping, and a lot of people I was following on social media who'd reviewed the game were like, "Queensblood's fucking. I'm playing Queensblood. I'm glad they put this RPG with it and stuff." And I was like, "Ooh, this sounds quite good." And for me, it's fine, but I don't get the hype. So I would love to know what the hype is about from someone who obviously enjoys it.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it. There's no doubt about it. And I think they should do what CD Projekt Red did with Gwent and everything like that. Well, I didn't understand Gwent. Didn't understand that. But it was so popular and everything like that, and I think it's going to be the same freaking thing and whatnot. I enjoyed it just because I think it was a nice distraction for me for what I was not enjoying from the main game and everything. With what I've just said, sounded off and everything. It was just it was a good simple thing just to sit back, chill for a bit, and enjoy just playing it and whatnot. Is it overly complicated? No, actually, it's not very overly complicated. I think Yeah, it's very easy by the end of it and whatnot. You can literally breeze through it with just the starter deck, what you can get and everything. It's like it's very well done. And yeah, that's what I think. Why people are loving it so far is because it's so simple, but it's also very intuitive at the same time, and it's just like it's a good, relaxing, chill point, just like kind of like what Gwent was for a lot of people for Witcher 3 and whatnot. It's like, oh, I've just done this big epic thing. Oh my god, that was awesome. Now I'm gonna play some cards. Now I'm going to rest and I'm going to switch my brain off and play some cards. And yeah, and I think that's basically what it is at the end of the day. I won't lie, it's the same as Final Fantasy IX.
Terramaster.
Just want to state that.
I love Terramaster. That's the thing. I love Terramaster in Final Fantasy IX. I did the whole thing when you do the tournament. But I don't know what it was about Queenslayer. I was playing it and I was like, okay, this is all right, I guess.
Yeah.
It's the updated version of it, basically, because obviously it is a little bit of it's 3 lines instead of like a big old box where you place things and whatnot. But yeah, it's just the same. It's basically the same thing.
The music's a banger, though. I will say that.
Music's amazing. Won't deny that. Probably by the soundtrack. Well, I was very close to taking up one your offer last week when we were chatting bits about the thing. I was thinking, no, I can't do that. When I feel like that. But yeah, it was.
This was for the Final Fantasy Rebirth Orchestra coming into town.
Gotcha. Yeah, we need to get that on that. Yeah, but yeah, cool.
Yeah, so yeah, the card game is very addictive. I can understand why people are clicking with it and enjoying it and whatnot.
That's fair. I just wanted to ask because it wasn't something that was like. I was like removed from it, and I know Vitz was as well. So I was like, we could ask someone. He was enjoying it while he enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's like for me, I always state this to the I'm blue in the face and everything like that. The simplest things are the more enjoyable for the most part. For the most part and everything. I could never ever recommend Yu-Gi-Oh! For people. Like everyone knows I'm a big fan of it and everything like that. I don't get the thing when it comes to the meta, like what you were saying about meta and all like that previously, Amy. I don't understand it. When I see it, I think, wait, well, I can't do anything because I haven't even drawn my card yet. What the fuck? So when I was like talking about it last week, saying like, oh my god, the GOAT format that they brought in just for like a week or whatever was so much fun because it was chill. I didn't care if I lost or anything like that. I was just like, I can play more than one card. I can last at least 2 turns. Oh my god, and everything. Fucking meta. Nah, you're lucky if you get to half a turn, basically with it. But no, yeah, it's like. But this one, it's like, it is simple. Like, you can get past the second turn and still be like, hey, I can still do this type of thing.
Gotcha.
And that's basically what it is.
All right, cool. Well, thank you for sharing your Final Fantasy
Shout out to
VII
everybody who's enjoying it and everything. And I'm looking forward to hearing you guys next week about it. Or the week after, whenever you guys.
He says that now.
Oh, I'll be switching my brain off. Don't worry. I'll be playing King's Blood. I'll play it then. I'll go and play some card game while I'm here. Oh god, they're still going. But I'm just gonna start drinking. They maybe might hear me then. Oh god, we've made Devin go to drinking.
Oh yeah, like don't mistake my. I'm waiting until I finish the game for not having thoughts.
Yeah.
Like
I
have thoughts.
Plenty of thoughts.
Oh, there's plenty of thoughts. All right. I can't wait to blow Vitz's mind where I'm just like, so in the original game, this is how it went down.
For all the friends watching at home, these tickets are actually for at least the London dates. They go on sale on March 15th at 10 a.m. GMT. So I'm going to set myself a little reminder.
So the Friday, right now, when you're watching this
video game day.
When you're watching this podcast, they're probably already sold out. Sorry.
Probably, yeah.
But I'm going to set myself a little reminder so I can be sure to.
I can't wait. It's going to be my first ever video game concert. I've never been to a video game concert.
Such a special one to go to.
And it's final, and it just happens to be like Final Fantasy VII, one of my favorite games.
The Royal Albert Hall.
Yeah.
One of the best venues to hear this.
Oh, I'm going.
Battle,
yeah. Like, yeah, definitely. Oh, 100%. It was like as soon as Vitch showed it to me, I was like, "Can I sleep on you? Do you have space?" And I'm like looking now on his video feed. And I'm like, "Yeah, I can fit there."
So my partner and I were having the discussion this week in terms of, yeah, absolutely. We can make space and get like bedding and everything sorted. So
I don't care. I don't give a shit. Bedding, whatever. I'll sleep on that floor. I don't give a shit. Remember, Iron Maiden.
We were also talking about the food we're going to make as well. So it's
now that I'm
awesome.
interested in. you share pictures of food all the time.
Yeah. When if she comes down to mine, that's all.
I was going to say, and Moody remembers
the food.
Moody remembers. I was making some chicken the other day, and I was like, I mean, it's good, but it's not like that chicken I had when I was at Moody's.
It's like she had breakfasts. She rarely has breakfasts.
I have breakfast all the time. What are you talking about?
Refers that. She had good breakfast.
I had good breakfast. There's a difference.
Not a breakfast bar.
Breakfast bars. You suck so much, but you're so easy to eat on a bus. Well, it's like I could get up 30 minutes early, or I could, sleep for those 30 minutes. I'm going to sleep for those 30 minutes, obviously, and eat a breakfast bar while I'm walking.
That's fair. So game preservation is on at Warner Brothers, huh?
I mean, it's Warner Brothers. Someone found the delete key.
Yeah. After they took a look and said, "What's that? What's that red line in what the heck is a rooster teeth? Do roosters even have teeth? No, shut that shit down."
But yeah, I know they're delisting all of the Adult Swim's. Adult Swim used to have a gaming label. Shout out to Adult Swim's gaming label. Like, they took some swings on a lot of really weird games. Back when I was a game reviewer, I used to work with them and get codes from them for a lot of their games. And they were all very weird. Like, whether I liked them or not, I appreciated the fact that they were very different. But Warner Brothers has decided, hey, you know what we're going to do? We're going to delete these games. And then someone would go, well, why? They don't take, it's not like they're taking up space. And then I don't understand it.
No.
Why are they deleting things?
Money.
But what money? Like, okay, like, I don't agree with the tax write-off deletion things where, like, they didn't release Batgirl and the Coyote film. But, like, they're getting money back from that. Like, what money are they getting back from delisting some games that have been on Steam for however many years?
They're going to cut off any sales going forward.
It cuts away, I'm guessing, like, rights and everything like that. Like, it'll be, like, contracts of, like, money that they'll have to give out to people if the game sells a certain amount or something like that. And I think that's basically probably what they're trying to get rid of. I'm taking a swipe there as well. I could be completely speaking out my ass there. I'm only going off what I'm taking a guess at there.
Like, it's got to be pocket change for a company like Warner Brothers. I mean, fair enough. They're pivoting to their free-to-play monetization mobile model, so might not be pocket change for them in a few years.
Sorry to cut across you. So one of the saddest things about this is the developer behind Sound Dodger Plus, Michael Molinari. So they just got notified that their game will be delisted. Just removed from Steam. So it wasn't even clear whether to be delisted or deleted or whatever it was. They have to retain all the IP and game rights and all the rest of it. So they reached out to Warner Brothers Discovery and was like, okay, go to the Steam link page and click 3 things and just transfer the ownership to them, the legal, proprietary rights holder for all the stuff. And they turned them down. Now, it could be the case that Warner Brothers Discovery and their whatever games arm is running that thing, there aren't people there to actually physically go and do it, because it still takes someone to actually go and click the thing. They just might not have the people there because they've got their minds on bigger things. Well, no, I don't want to say better things, but bigger things to focus on, kind of thing. So it's one of these where I think a lot of people are going to lose out here. It's all going to be these smaller creators who have no recourse because Warner Bros. Discovery don't care and don't have the people to do the things which are necessary.
Pretty much. I think that's the best analogy out there.
I think Warner Brothers...
focus on...
Go on.
Anyway, sorry. No.
Oh, I insist.
Okay. That's gone. My brain's gone. It's gone. It's gone. Sorry.
Moody was one I had a macro freak out this time.
I mean, we're talking about Warner Brothers, so
yeah, exactly.
I think Warner Brothers would be is a good company just to avoid in general these days.
Yeah,
was the point I was going to go with. Yeah.
To be fair, like if they're going to continue their push to make everything a live service game, then they'll do that by themselves. Just give it time.
Well, it's like the Ubisoft situation a few years ago when all the news was coming out about them, and people were talking about boycotts and whatnot. And I'm always a big believer in supporting the developers. So if a set of developers who made a game said, "Hey, don't buy this game," I wouldn't buy this game. But like, a lot of the people who make the things are cool. So like, I've never really been a part of like too many boycotts in my time. But like, as I noted at the time, I never really bought Ubisoft. I hadn't played a Ubisoft game for years. Like, as me and Moody were on the podcast talking about it, like, and he's so enraged, he's just taking his headphones off and walked away. So,
just a mere mention,
just a mere mention of Ubisoft. But yeah, it's like it's the same with this, where it's like if I really sat down and thought about it, what was the last time I played a Warner Brothers game? That's and it's just one of those things where it's like
the Arkham titles,
maybe the Lord of the Rings titles, but I mean even then, like the second one was just not a fun experience.
No, I heard about the microtransactions and how bad the end game was, and as much as I love Shadow of Mordor, I didn't touch Shadow of War.
Yeah, well, I had to review. I reviewed Shadow of the second one.
Shadow
for my Xbox and me. Like I loved as someone who fucking loved the first one. Like I thought that was an amazing game. It was like in my game of the year for that year, it was like rivaling like Dragon Age Inquisition. Like in my thought process for that, and then I played the second one, and I was like, the first chapter was incredible. I loved it. I thought it was great. It was a great expansion of everything that was like that. The first one did, like in a bigger world and all this stuff. And then I opened one of the loot boxes because I was like, I'm reviewing the game. The game gives you a free loot box. I crack it open.
See what's in it, right?
And then I got this orc, and this orc was way overpowered and way over leveled compared to all the other orcs I had, and it just destroyed the difficulty curve of the entire game. And I even remember it in the review being like, so like once you open this loot box, fuck, this game sucked.
Yeah, not even sexy lady Shelob could save that game for you.
Don't get me started on sexy Shelob.
That made no sense.
But yeah, no, I think that was the last Warner Brothers Polish game I played, probably. Like, it's not a conscious decision. I just feel like it's like, what have they put out recently that's even been something like that I would want to play?
It's piqued your interest, yeah. Are you sure there wasn't a Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League?
That's what was wild about that is I liked the reveal. I was like, hey, this is pretty funny. And I like the writing in this, and from what I've heard, the writing's pretty good. But like, as soon as they were like, look at all these tanks, I was like, I'm out.
Yep. All the generic purple stuff. So is Moody.
Moody's out as well. I mean, he's just like, fuck that shit. They're talking about Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And obviously, there was the other game.
Gotham Knights?
No, the other game. Other game. The fight game. The game I got into fights over.
Oh, Multiverses.
No, the game I got into fights over.
Oh, right. That yes.
Oh, sorry. To be more specific, the game people decided to get into fights with me over.
That is true.
I didn't start any. Like John Sheridan in Babylon 5, I didn't start any fights, but I finished them.
I sure as heck finished them.
Yeah. But yeah, no, it just... and as Moody alluded to when he talked about it, like game preservation, it's like you can't be taken seriously as an art form if you don't preserve your history. It's that simple.
Nah, that's what informs the future, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Where shall we go next?
A PlayStation.
I was going to say, do you want to feel like you're shooting yourself in the foot or in the face? Well, we've only got time for one more, so we'll do PlayStation. Foot it is.
So this is the story from GameDeveloper.com, how PlayStation-backed studio Deviation Games is shutting down. So less than 3 years after partnering with Sony to create a new PlayStation franchise, Deviation Games has shut down. Crystal broke the news on LinkedIn and said the company will attempt to find its dev team's new role across the industry. Then they have a statement to say how terrible it is. They'll be having a networking event to showcase their talent that they have there. 90 people were made redundant last year. The studio had 100 to begin with. I'm not sure how much they grew in size, but yeah, it's another one where. So I'm not sure where this has come from. Whether it's like a Sony thing or a Deviation Games thing of just the writing was on the wall in terms of, okay, the projects that we have, they're not shaping up to what we need them to be. We can't make this work. Therefore, it's easier to scuttle the whole thing. But it's another sad case of sad news all around.
Yeah, it's absolutely crap. At the end of the day, it's more people losing their jobs, more people losing their livelihoods, especially if you've moved down there and everything like that. This is a brand new startup and everything, and just completely mishandled, mismanagement. It sounds like at the same time, because at the end of the day, you should know where you're going when it comes to creating the video game you're wanting to create and everything. Now, if PlayStation come in and put some hurdles up and made things difficult and whatnot, that's on the PlayStation side as well and everything. And it's just like this is a lot of people's livelihoods, and it's just like, it's crap. It's just like, what we're there. They get over 8,000 people now, and it's just March. People have lost their jobs. Like it's vile, it's disgusting, and it's just terrible.
It's an especially worrying trend that we're seeing outside. I don't want to say this outside of the layoffs of people leaving quote unquote AAA studios to form their own teams, but still having the scope of one of the games which would have been made by one of the AAA studios. And it's one of these things of, you need to also live within your means in terms of, you don't have the team and resources that you had back at these old studios. Fair enough, you might have the level of creativity and that vision, but you need to narrow that scope. So you're not trying to make the world's biggest game with a small team kind of thing. You are living within your means, so you're not crunching the team, you're not outstretching yourselves, you're not running into financial troubles because you've overscoped a game and now you can't afford to do all the bits and pieces that you need to. And it's one of these where, to your point, it comes down to mismanagement.
Exactly.
Everything you just said is really serious and like very well said, but it looks like Moody's just decided to have a tantrum and sit on the floor.
That is why I looked away from the camera, my second monitor, while I was going through all of that, because I would have got the giggles so hard.
I couldn't be bothered to get my chair. So far, you know what? I'm going to load the table as far.
This is where we're at. I'm going to sit on the floor. Fuck this.
Yeah, something like that, yeah. Why the hell not?
Like,
sorry for that.
You know, they made a studio. They partnered with PlayStation. They announced a game. Did they even announce a game? Like,
I know they announced the studio.
They announced the studio, and then PlayStation like, nah, fuck this, pull the plug. It goes back to what I was talking about a few weeks ago when we tackled this as a main sort of topic, based on that stuff I had watched, where it's like, this is how the companies are being run. It's like, did they just did they just partner with this studio so that they had overhead, so that when the times got tough they could just cancel it and look sensible to their shareholders? Like, maybe, I don't know, like, that's how this all seems to be going. And yeah, it's mismanagement, because clearly PlayStation didn't know what they wanted out of this partnership, because this partnership has contributed nothing. Apart from wasted time and, you know, putting 100 people out of work.
Yes.
And it sucks. Like, PlayStation can go fuck themselves.
No, absolutely. Well, I'm more interested at the moment of what happened with Moody's side of the world.
I don't know. Now he's leaning forward. Like,
I'm fine. Don't worry about me. Worst thing is,
it's kind of intimidating. Like,
the worst thing is that obviously we all know that Jim Ryan's left and everything like that. Well, obviously he went around and did a whole like goodbye thing to all the studios and everything like that, while knowing that oh, next week I'm going to give half years off or close the studio, which was London. And it's just like, well, go fuck yourself, Jim Ryan. Like, seriously.
I would say that before it was cool. Just saying.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, it seems what it seems like is like in this one specific instance of PlayStation, it seems like they've changed their strategy or their tactics or like whatever their future plans are, and it's just decimated some of their studios.
Yeah.
And like,
I'd like to imagine it's not completely down to their okay, we're going to go all in on live service games, and now that's not where the hype is. Let's deviate from that. There's probably some other factors in as well, but
I feel like that's what it seems like. It seems like, hey, we've got all in on live service games. It's going to be great. We're going to spend 60% of our R&D budget on live service. Oh shit, the bottom's falling out of this live service market. Maybe we should not do this anymore. And then they've looked at it and gone, well, if we're not going to do this anymore, like we're going to have to fire on all these people. And it's just like, man, fuck you.
Yeah. It's like the right.
You're the market leader. Actually, sorry, I'm going to do my own Captain Hole going and offered about dentists. Like, you're the market leader, PlayStation. Stop following trends and chasing trends and create them. Like, that's what a market leader does. Fucking.
And that, my friends, is why we call her Velvet Thunder.
And nobody even cares about etymology. No.
It's a doctorate. Friends, for those of you wondering what the heck is she going on about, we were discussing one of the finer jokes on Brooklyn Nine-Nine before the podcast recorded today.
We were. But yeah, no, like if you're the market leader, like, and you have the biggest user base, the most money, the most sales, you can take risks. And guess what? Those risks will not all of them will pan out, but some of them will pan out. Fucking Uncharted was a fucking risk when it came out because people were quote unquote sick of linear video games, and then Sony went, well, we're gonna make one anyway, and they made one, and it was amazing, and it kicked off this whole fucking trend of linear first-person prestige story-driven games. If you keep following, what's going to happen is somebody else is going to take that risk, and somebody else is going to hit it big, and that's not going to be you.
Yeah. And we're such a far cry away from the PlayStation who, funded a Pixel Opus and had them make Concrete Genie and whatever project they were going to work on next, and then they ended up just scuttling that studio as well. And it's the mainstream wins are supposed to fund your experiments that you do to try and find, the diamond ideas out there from the millions that are out there, kind of thing. And
the next great idea, the next great studio, the next great talent. Like, that's what you're supposed to be looking for if you have if you're in this position.
You have the resources to do it, but because you're so hell bent on just pleasing shareholders and stakeholders, that you've just become so risk averse, and it's a crying shame.
And risk aversion leads to worse games. It does.
Yes, absolutely.
Ask Microsoft. Remember when Halo, Forza, and Gears of War were all they needed, and how that lasted forever, and nobody ever got sick of Halo, Forza, and Gears of War.
Nope, not even once.
Not even once.
Right now, because of what PlayStation have done to themselves, we're not going to see probably something new from them for a while when it comes to their exclusives and everything, because just pushing it back from their first party, should I say?
Yeah, and this is where their smaller games should be feeling the good things, like Journey, like Concrete Genie, like Entwined, like
an Astrobot.
Like these smaller things plug the holes while people are waiting for the bigger games. But if you're going to rely on Spider-Man spin-offs and adding roguelike mods to fucking Last of Us, people are going to get sick of those because they're going to get overexposed to those games.
Yep, absolutely. And, it totally doesn't fit the game.
And also, it completely doesn't fit the tone of the tone of the fucking game.
Nobody cares about the etymology anymore.
I'm done.
Amy, take us to the closer.
I'm taking us to the closer. I've left us space to talk about Fantasy Critic this week. after weeks of us going
teasing.
over, I've been like, no, today we're going to talk about it. But before that, it's time for OpenCritic Head-To-Head. This is the game we play every week where we try to guess the OpenCritic average of upcoming games. Whoever guesses closest to the score gets a point. If you manage to guess the score correctly, you get 2 points. Last week, we tried to guess the OpenCritic average of Alone in the Dark. It's not got any reviews yet. Kind of saw that coming, but it was one of those where it was like, if they drop early reviews, like, let's just get in on it. Like, there was nothing else coming out this week that to guess on. So, like, it's fine. It is what it is. We'll get it and pick it up next week. But this week, we got some stuff to guess on. Big week next week. There's a few games coming out. I'm beginning interested. We're gonna do the thing. You know, we'll guess all of the games. But then once we've guessed all of the games, I'll be very interested to see which of these 3 games you are most excited for. But first, let's do some more Critic Head-To-Head guessing. So first game we're going to guess, Dragon's Dogma number 2. Fitz.
May I go with an 87, please?
Moody.
Idiot.
They say it never fails.
Failed me last week. Do you notice Unicorn Overlord the next day went back up to 88? Motherfucking silicon error. Remember when I said I couldn't start beef with them because I didn't know who they are? Turns out I can start beef with them.
Yeah. This is like penance for you asking someone to review games 10 out of 10.
I stand by that. If that had happened, it would have been incredible.
It would have been incredible.
Dragon's Dogma, I'm gonna go 83.
Ooh.
83. The next game we're gonna guess, that's the word I was looking for, is Princess Peach Showtime.
Okay, I think given the recent preview cycle that was done recently as the poor choice of structuring sentences, I'm going to go with a 73.
Jesus. Moody.
77.
77. Well, I'm gonna say a.
Ooh.
Screw all y'all.
I've been hurt by the Mario and Donkey Kong one, so I was just like, I'm not trusting the bastards. I'm not going to come out for this one either.
Moody's got a grudge too. Lastly,
fuck yous.
fuck all you. Reviews are stupid.
Box.
Lastly, we've got Rise of the Ronin.
Okay, so
It sounds like it's going to be complex. It's a complex
I would
thought
like
process.
to go with a 78, please.
78. Moody. Rise of the Ronin. Team Ninja's open world. Not Neo 3.
Not Ghost of Tsushima 2. No foxes.
It'd be weird if they made Ghost of Tsushima 2.
It would be.
Funny though.
I'm gonna bubble me up 77.
Interesting. I thought I was the only one who's like, I don't know about this one, Chief. I was expecting you all to be like, whoa, and then I was going to be like, whoa.
Well, you reminded us it looked like a PS3 game, so.
Doesn't even look like a PS3 game. It's the fucking most annoying part. What PS3 games are you all playing?
Like a PS2 game instead.
You know, we were playing Heavily Sword with the lady with the twing twang and throwing it using the 6-axis.
Oh, yeah. The 6-axis. I remember that. well, shit.
Where's she gonna go?
I don't know. You went where I was gonna go.
Ah.
Y'all are making me. I've got to commit to something now. Higher or lower?
Higher than a 78.
Do I box fit in or do I box me? That's my option. Those are my options. Is it going to be higher than 78 or is it going to be lower than 77? I mean, it is an open world game. Like lots of reviewers like those, like all of them.
People were saying didn't quite have the magic.
Like, yeah, but I mean, game reviewers like open worlds just generally.
That's true.
Like Starfield got good reviews when it came out. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know why either.
Yeah, and you played it.
I sure did.
One of you can technically say that. The other one can't.
I played Fallout 4. That was all I needed.
It's the same game. It's the same mechanical game.
I read the tea leaves. I played the previous game.
There was a map in that game.
And I saw the future. I was like, no, thank you. I don't want what you're selling, Mr. Howard.
Shiny jacket. Fancy shoes.
I don't want any more. Thank you very much.
75.
Ooh.
I'm sticking with my original thought of Gola. And I love Neo and Neo 2. I want to be proven wrong. Prove me wrong, please.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. Like for the entire time, like this game has been like in that reveal cycle. Like there's just something about it that hasn't been speaking to me. And that happens sometimes, and most of the time I ignore that gut feeling. And it always backfires on me. It's like how me and Moody even talked about this a few weeks before the game came out. The entire like hype cycle for Final Fantasy 16, it just wasn't vibing with me. And I still like got it, played it. And I was like, my gut was correct. Listen to my gut more. And that's the lesson I'm trying to take away from things like that. Mm-hmm. Is anyone excited for any of these games? And which one are you excited for the most? Like, are you going to play any of these games?
I can't see myself playing any of them. I'm interested to see what the reception to Dragon Dogma is. People were hyped for this game. I've seen some interesting character creations from people playing with the, I believe it's like I don't want to say it's an early access, but they have like an early build of the game. So I'm interested to see what people's creations are. But having come off a giant open world RPG, I think I might temper what I play next with something a little bit smaller. Yeah. Although I have a Like a Dragon to get into, so that might be the play.
It's shorter.
There you go.
It technically is. Yes, it is. Yes, she is.
It might be that the next or the next span of free time I have is spent finishing off the little D&D thing we've got going, and then we jump into Like a Dragon. So maybe that's a play for me.
I want to try Dragon's Dogma 2 and Princess Peach and Showdown.
Nice. Yeah, Prince.
The more and more I hear, the more. Sorry, go on.
Go on. No, you were speaking.
More and more I hear of Rise of the Rohan, the more and more I'm just like, nope.
Yeah, like I don't know what it is. Like it's just the entire time I've just been looking at it, going, I don't think it's gonna be for me. Like, and I love being proven wrong. So, like I said, I hope I get proven wrong. For me, Dragon's Dogma 2 is going to be an interesting one for me to keep an eye on. I didn't like the first one. I remember playing it back on my Xbox 360, and not really having a great time with it. So I'm going to sit back and sort of watch the unfolding narrative around that game's release. Princess Peach Showtime, though. I might play that. Like that sounds like a good palate cleanser from Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Like if you want to talk about like doing like a complete like reversal on like, okay, I need to cleanse my palate. But you've played one giant open world RPG. I've played two. almost back to back.
Yeah, but you did do a palate cleanser in the between, even though that was like a 30-hour palate cleanser. It was still a palate cleanser.
I feel like if I dive into a third one straight away, though, it's going to be like, yeah, okay. Because remember,
it'll burn you out.
I did download and play a little bit of Persona 3 and went, like, ooh, no.
Shit, I completely forgot I bought that game.
You bought it? It's on Game Pass. Pacific Drive.
Pacific Drive. I completely forgot I bought that.
You did, live on the podcast when I reviewed it a couple weeks ago.
Did?
There you go. There's a palate cleanser for you. But yeah, no, like Princess Peach Showtime, I'm interested in playing that. Right, it's time for the overly promised, oft cancelled Fantasy Critic check-in. Words About Games 2024 Battle Royale, our first check-in in mid-March. It's been an interesting one, but the current standings, as things stand, in 6th place with 0 points and 0 released games, it's Mr. Ron Goodwill Ambassador, Fairwold.
That will change from next week.
It sure fucking will. In 5th place with 19 points. I'm going off, sorry, 19, it's 20 because it rounds up. It's 20 points and 1 released game, which is pretty good. Like 20 points out of 1 game. It's 3 Crazy Cats, and that's Loxtail, with 27 points. And 5 released games. In 4th place, we have actually going to play games this year, which is Elf Daughter. We may talk about
games.
We may talk about that equation in a little bit. In 3rd place, with 37 points and 3 released games, it's Vitz Patel's Roll Dice and Play Nice. Uh-huh. In 2nd place, with 39 points and also 3 released games, it's Silksong is Just a Shadow on the Wall of a Cave. That's me. I'm not Solly. But in 1st place, with 53 points and 4 released games, it's Attack of the Smackheads.
Could say 5, as one of them's a counter pick.
I could say 5, but I'm not going to say 5.
Fair.
I just read the number next to the...
Yeah, I know what you're going off.
Next to the thing. Has anyone else had a counter pick come out yet? I definitely know. No one has. Yeah, so... Should we just talk about Elf first before we talk about everybody else? Because she's
Elf has had an interesting ride.
Yeah, like a roller coaster.
Yeah.
So Elf was one of the people who couldn't come to the draft, and so her first 8 games were automatically drafted by Fantasy Critic. And they included Final Fantasy VII Rebirth and Helldivers 2, which both, Final Fantasy especially, they scored a lot of points. The problem came from a couple of games that she picked up later, Skull and Bones and a game called The Inquisitor, which netted her a total of minus 22, which more or less cancelled out 2 of her other games. Yeah.
She'd be second if she didn't have that.
Yeah, so she got 23 points from Helldivers 2 and Banisher's Ghosts of New Eden, which is pretty much cancelled out by those other 2 games. And then Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is basically all the points that she has. So really, she had 4 games released and it reset itself. But because of the release cadence of those games, she kind of went whoop, and then she went and then she went back up again, and it's been a whole journey. Following
Rebirth has scored 27 points so far, and Elf Daughter is on 27 points.
With 5 games released. The thing we said where it was like, wouldn't it be crazy if Like a Dragon got more points than Final Fantasy VII? I mean, it was close.
Yeah, it was close.
It was close.
I can't say that it was a bad first pick by Russ. You'd only have an extra 3 points if you picked FF7. And then Keith hasn't had anything come out. Palworld technically out, but it's in early access, so
yeah, it's got review scores.
I mean,
no points attributed to it.
You'd have a point. I don't think it's going to until it comes out proper. Or if I push a button, I can push a button and add the points on. We'll see what everybody wants to do with early access games later on.
The team behind Palworld, they are currently hiring for someone for a comic book artist to help flesh out their universe. Maybe get your game out of early access first and come out with a roadmap of, okay, here's the content, here's what's going to be the 1.0 release, here's what's going to come, this is the story we're going to add on to the rest of the game once you defeat the towers, and there's like no cutscene or anything like that. But okay, no, you do you.
But yeah, no. So the top three, Vitz and myself are pretty much neck and neck, more or less. Your three games that have come out: Persona 3 Reload has got 18 points, under 19. Birth 2 has 12, and Penny's Big Breakaway, which might be my next game after FF. I really like the look of it. Has you 7 points, whereas on my side, Tekken 8 has me 20 points, Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons remake has 10, and Pacific Drive has 9, which proves that game critics don't have good taste. And that pretty much puts us more or less even.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
I'm umming and ahhing about when do we accept the fate that Switch, the successor to the Switch, means we might need to start dropping some of these unannounced Mario titles.
I've got space for now. Like, it's fine. Like,
true.
you never know. You never know. It's all fucking rumors and hearsay at the minute. Imagine
That's true. Unless we
you
hear from Nintendo and we believe them.
When I see
Yes.
when I see Nintendo's presentation and they tell me it's not coming out until 2025, then I'll make some space. Because how stupid would you feel, Vince, if you dropped your Mario game and then they were like, "Hey, it's coming out in 2024, and guess what? It's coming with this Mario game," and then you'd be like, "Shit, well, I fucked up." And in first place, obviously, we have Moody.
Yay!
Back
I'll
on
cheer
top.
everybody.
Congratulations. Hey, most people don't score points from counter picks.
That's true. That's true. When I saw a picket, I was like, I'm gunning for it. I was like, I'm gunning for this one.
I think that was so. There was 1 week where I forgot to check in on it. I think that might have been that week.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I only put $1 off for it, so you would have got it if you went high.
Yeah, but you got 18 points from Unicorn Overlord, 7 from Mario vs. Donkey Kong, 11 from Blue Fantasy Relink, and 7 from Licefanger, the Time Shift Warrior, and 9 points from Skull and Bones. Technically, Skull and Bones is your third best game. You beat me at World of Goo 2, though.
Quadruple A studio.
Yeah,
I text Vitz. So obviously there was that Nintendo Direct, right? And I text Vitz this after the Direct. So on the Monday, before we even knew there was going to be a Nintendo Direct, I was like, okay, what games do I think flying under the radar that nobody really remembers or knows much about that I can just put some sneaky bids in for that I think are going to be coming out soon? And I put the bids in, and every single one of those fucking games turned up in the Nintendo Direct, and I was like, fuck. That was it. I was speechless. I was like, well, now everybody's seeing these fucking games. Yeah, bastards.
This is why you don't watch like these Switch Directs.
Probably I need everybody else not to watch these Switch Directs.
Yeah.
The issue is sometimes as well, I feel like there's like you can tell when Amy's bid on a game. And I feel like sometimes that triggers other people to bid on games just because they could tell Amy's bid on this game. And sometimes it works out in my favor. There was a couple of times last year where I bid on a game, Russ bid on a game, and Russ got it, and then it did do so well, and then I was like, whew, dodged a bullet there. But yeah, no. Like, I beat you to Pokemon. Thanks for that. Moody.
Yeah, I don't think you're ever playing to clear out somebody else's potential bank account. You're just playing for the games that you actually want, kind of thing, or at least look good for you. And then if somebody else snipes in, then obviously fingers crossed that it doesn't turn out well. But yeah, I think it's a strong game we have this year.
Yeah, I've got some good balance right now. Like obviously, like Keith is like waiting in the wings right now. He's got 2 games coming out next week, which could knock him up pretty far, depending on what they get and everything. So there's a lot of unknowns right now, obviously. So
I think this year, in terms of OpenCritic averages and whatnot, and like playing this specific game, I think it's harder to. I think last year was a lot easier to identify like games that were probably going to pop off if you put them in the team. Whereas, although I still can't believe no one challenged us on Baldur's Gate 3. But
not gonna lie, I had no idea what the hell that game was, so I had no idea what it is.
But I think this year is harder. Like, I think you can look at the release schedule of this year, and even including games that just say 2024 and don't have like a release date or a release window.
Yeah.
And it's like it's harder to like figure out what to make bids on and what go all in on.
Yeah, it's that awful feeling of, is this game going to get delayed, or is the studio going to get scuttled before it actually is due to come out? It's one of those.
Wasn't even thinking about that.
Like right now, I've picked. Obviously, I got replaced again. They're a Ukraine company who are in Ukraine, so it's like there's something going on. Obviously, going on over there. So I don't know if that's going to actually happen or anything right now. So we don't know. Like obviously, I've got Metroid Prime 4. There's obviously a massive chance that I'll excuse me, probably drop that one eventually, but I'm not going to drop it anytime soon. Because
why would you?
Yeah, wait for an official word.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, it's like my unannounced Mario 3D platformer. It's like, why would I take the chance on dropping it when it's an easy slam dunk? Like,
yeah, that's like it's the same goes for Hollow Knight as well. Like I'm probably never going to drop that,
and I'm never going to forgive you.
What for? Forgetting a Pokemon game that's not coming out?
No, I mean that's just I take my chances every time you say a Pokemon game. I get it on Fantasy Critic.
I mean, last year I got unannounced 2D Mario, and that turned into Super Mario Wonder. So
yeah, and the year before
it's
I
worth,
got unannounced Last of Us remake, and The Last of Us Part 1 came out. So, like sometimes you do take those absolute mega swings. No, the thing I'm not gonna forgive you for, Moody, is the Hollow Knight betrayal, where it's like, you know, my story arc, you stole it.
That's why I left it alone.
I was never going to leave that alone.
If we'd have been
unless Vitz claimed it,
if we'd have been thinking, Vitz, what you should have done is you should have claimed it, and then when it came to my first pick, you should have said, "And I'm going to give it to you, Amy." Should have thought. That's something for when it doesn't come out this year.
Right, of course, yeah.
That's something to think about for next year.
If it doesn't come out this year.
I don't think it's gonna. Like I said it when Xbox had that developer partner thing in January / the beginning of February. I said it's a fucking red flag that it's not there at that thing. And then there's been subsequent Xbox development partner showcases, subsequent Nintendo Directs. It's still MIA. I don't think it's gonna be a shadow drop. I don't think they're gonna go and it's available now whenever they show it. I'm just saying.
They did like put out a statement last year saying development is continuing going well, right? So it's not like they've decided, you know continuing. What, it's done. It's
one of those where it was a DLC. It was meant to be like an expansion for the original Hollow Knight that exploded in sort of scope to the point where they were like, we're just going to make a full sequel out of it. COVID obviously happened during the development, which obviously slowed the development down somewhat. Take your time, like.
Yeah, it's ready when it's ready, right?
Yeah. I would rather all of these, every single one of these games got delayed, and I could play them, and they're in better shape than they come out just so I can score some points.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Yeah, this is just a dumb little game that we play. Like, I'm not seriously sitting here thinking, "Oh man, I hope Hollow Knight gets delayed so Moody doesn't get any points." I'd rather Hollow Knight came out. I'd rather Hollow Knight came out and got Moody fucking 30 points than I get. But I'm sitting here playing it. It's like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
I think you should be wishing it comes out for me because I've potentially helped you out as well.
Look, right. It's not that I don't want it to come out. It's that I don't think it's coming out.
No, I meant about a game that I've recommended for you.
Which one? Dragon Age?
Well, it's a counter pick for you.
Oh, that one. It's got a proper release date. Are we? Should we say this? Should we be talking about this?
No,
on the
I'm
podcast?
Not saying anything because people can't see it, so it's okay. Silence, Vitz.
That's time. That's time. It's time to end the podcast. Moody, do you have any final thoughts for us on the world?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. What's up, everybody? You made it. Another day has done. Another week has passed. We are all proud of you. You are special. You deserve the absolute best. You are truly good enough. You're doing great. We all believe in you. Have a fantastic weekend, everyone. Peace out.
Bye.